Hey everyone, welcome back to Geet Builds. I am Geet. Today, I'm finally going to be doing the long-promised Woodhaerst update. I've done a good bit of building that I haven't made a video about in a while, not counting the black market walkthrough I posted yesterday, and I'm really excited to take you through everything I've done so far. And I'll also be doing a subscriber giveaway later this week, and if you haven't subscribed and entered the giveaway already, then go ahead and do that. I've grown from just starting my YouTube channel to over 70 subscribers in just a month, which I'm super excited about. And it really helps me grow the channel and have more and more people see the things that I make. So today's video is going to be a bit different than my usual time lapses, and I'm actually going to spend only a little bit of time on the time lapse, and then most of it will actually be me walking around and exploring the new stuff. So I'll rejoin you in about a minute, and I'm really sorry about the flashing sun. I sped up time by about 3,000% to shorten the time lapse, and I'll turn off time for the next video because I'm just that powerful. Hello, I am back. I hope you liked the time lapse, and again, I'm really sorry about how bad the lighting was. I promise I'll learn from my mistake. So here we are right next to the theater, which is just huge. On the inside it has 5 different tiers, an orchestra pit, and a huge stage, but I'll go inside later and see that. Right now we're in the beginning of what is going to be a festival area outside of the theater, and I thought it'd be a really cool idea for there to be some kind of holiday or seasonal event like a carnival happening in the city. So right now there's only a few tents, but they all have barrels with taps to make them look like casks, and I'll add more around the big open area in front of the theater later. And up ahead is one of my favorite buildings. It's really unique with the 3 towers, and it stands out in Woodhaerst since it does have a bit more stone than the rest of the buildings. And I mean for this to be some kind of guild building or guild hall when it's all said and done. And you can see along the road I've added some gutters with running water going down, and a couple of carts and porters with barrels to make this area feel like a bustling merchant's quarters. And here's a large tower that I thought looked really good. I'm not really sure what it is, but I just kind of liked the way it looked. And here we have another marketplace. This one has some more unique things, like a bookstore kind of thing going on. And I'm not really sure what the lantern is, but it looked cool. There's some redstone covered by trapdoors, so it looks like a barrel. And here we have a simple well that I made. I didn't want it to be too complex or anything. I wanted it to be kind of small and fit in. And here we're in the lobby lounge area of what I want to be like a trading hall. It's a pretty massive building and it looks pretty imposing, so I figured it'd be something important like a trading hall. And then we have like a puppet show type thing that I actually kind of got the idea from Shrek on. And we're going up into the general store that I included in a video a couple weeks ago. And so you can see here, I've used custom heads to make some things like sacks of flour and barrels, and I think those look really good. And then we're gonna go down and go back along the street some more. And the front of the building, I've done some flower boxes and some gardens to make it all look a little bit more put together, I guess. And there's also some benches that I've added, and of course some barrels everywhere. And I really like the side of that building. I think that building is one of my actual favorites. I think they're all kind of my favorites, but that one especially. And here, I didn't really know what to do with this open area in front of this large building with all the corners. And so I thought maybe a garden in the middle of it, but I didn't want it to be too big, so I wanted to have a good bit of open space in case I wanted to add a cart. And we're on the porch of another building, sort of like a small house I made, and then another house I made a couple videos ago that I think I included, but I can't quite remember now. I used more of the fence to make pergolas. And going back into the city, I think that I may have included this in the in video, but we're gonna head over there too. And making the gutters broke up the streets, which gave me an excuse to put some of these tiny mini bridges over them, which textures the ground and adds depth and randomness to the path, so it's not just long flat ground. And one thing I didn't like about the first area I built in Woodhaerst is that I made the roads too cramped and crowded with objects and carts and everything. So I've been trying to get better at making the roads have enough detail to be interesting, but not so detailed that you're left thinking that I just kind of vomited blocks across the street. And don't mind this area. Close your eyes for just 5 seconds, because I'm still not sure what I want to put here, so right now it's bland and boring. And you might be thinking, Geet, It's been 3 weeks of no Woodhaerst updates. You have to have had time to complete all the things that are in this video, but if you thought that, then you'd be naive and wrong, and should lower your expectations because I'm lazy and I lack inspiration. But one thing that is actually completed is this bookstore, which I know was in the last video of Woodhaerst, but in case this is the first video you're watching, then this is probably worth seeing, and it's one of the few buildings I've done the interior so far. And this building is super crowded, but it's actually intentional and sort of a personal thing, since I think crazy crowded bookstores and libraries are super cool, because I'm quirky and I like books, which makes me super unique because no one else does. But if you've got a geek trivia game going, then you'll be happy to hear that I was actually a vice president of a book club in high school. So that's today's fact about Geek. And I have a lot of people ask on Reddit if this map is available for download, and the answer is yes, sort of, ish. The completely blank 10,000 by 10,000 map is up for download, but it doesn't have any of the building I've done on it. Eventually, in like 10 years when I'm 30 and I've finally finished building on the whole map, I'll put the completed map up for download too. In the meantime, if you want to run around on just the landscape I made, or if you want to build on any of the other maps I post, then you can download those from my Planet Minecraft page, which I'll post the link to below. And here we are finally going into the theater. So I've thought a lot about posting a video about just the theater and decided against it because I didn't think that it'd be interesting enough to have a video on its own. So here we can see them going through like a coat room and then into the actual theater, and it kind of opens up into the whole thing real quick. And on the bottom floor there's a bunch of seats, and you can walk all the way towards the front, and then there's the orchestra pit. And there's actually not a way to get to the stage from here, so I probably thought about that beforehand, but I'll go ahead and just fly across. And it's a fully functional stage, as much as Minecraft can be. It has a house and a little shack on the end, and maybe like a tower, castle type thing. I thought that was kind of a cool little addition that made it feel like it was an actual theater. And you can see that there's a full 5 layers, including the ground floor. And from most of the seats, not quite all, but most of them you can see the stage from. So even if you're high up and to the side, you can still see it. And okay, I know that when I made a round medieval theater, I was inviting comparison to the globe. And yes, I guess it's sort of, if you squint your eyes, they could look similar. But has anyone ever actually seen the Globe Theater? That might be the ugliest building. Like, I don't understand how something so famous can be so unbelievably hideous. It's awful. And I die just a little bit inside every time I hear that it looks like the Globe. And I feel like if I was a bigger YouTuber and I made a rant about the Globe, I would have like 1,000 people in the comments making fun of me saying, oh, it looks just like the Globe. But I just want you all to know that if you comment that I will be taking you out in a subscriber giveaway. And whenever I say, hey everyone, welcome back to Geek Builds, I will not be welcoming you. You will have lost the right to Geek Builds. So moving on. Right now I'm just sort of walking around so you can see each level a bit closer, and to show that almost every section has a pretty decent view of the stage, which was something I was worried about in the beginning, that I would like build all of this and have all these layers, and then you wouldn't be able to see the stage from anything but the first couple floors. But I'm really happy that even from the nosebleeds, you can still get a view. And this building also definitely looks the best at night, and the glow from the lanterns really reminds me of it being like at a real stage or play, and not being trapped in my living room for the 5th month in a row. But being able to see the stage, and also look up and see the stars and clouds from the shaders, I don't know, I just feel like this building is probably the best thing I've made, and the most complete feeling. I mean, the awnings were a real pain to make because I'm still getting a hang of like the whole organic curves and shapes, especially when also trying to work like different diagonal slopes into it. But after an absolute eternity, I finally got them to look, like in my opinion, really natural and believable. Which is good practice because I have another building idea that I want to make. And this won't be anytime soon since it's on the entire other side of the city. But I figured that since this city is like on a grassy plains area, that they probably have a lot of horses, or at least like good at riding horses or something. So in the outline of the city, I have a horse track, jousting, Circus Maximus type building in mind, where it's really long and oval shaped, and will also be open air and have these kind of awnings. So it's cool to see that these can look decent, even on like a not super huge scale. But maybe I'm biased and tooting my horn a bit too much, and they're actually terrible. Who knows? And right here you can watch me be really dumb and walk right past the very obvious exit to the theater while I'm looking for the way out. So sorry about the confused and frantic walking in circles, and then for flying over the railing because it sort of ruins the immersion. But we're getting to the end of the video, so immersion's ending soon anyways. And we're getting to that point of the video where I start plugging my other social media. So of course, if you want to help me grow the channel, then subscribing is just incredibly helpful. And since I'm getting more subscribers, I want to think of something to call all of you. So let me know if you have any ideas for names. Right now the best I have are Geeters, which is just so terrible, so please help me. You can also follow me on Instagram, and I usually post every couple of days a new build or render of a map, and I also post my story whenever I upload a new video, so you can always know when I've got new content up. And for the subscriber giveaway, this week's winner is Mitch Vermolin, and that should be my next video, and unless something comes up, that should be uploaded around Friday morning. And thank you so much to everyone that subscribed, and to all of you who write comments on my videos. I really appreciate you, and it helps motivate me to keep making more videos since I know there are really people out there who enjoy watching them. So that's going to be it for today. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. Peace.